and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy that you're here with me today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme of the choice of living through ego or God. Let's define ego. Let's dive into what I'm referring to when I use the word ego. It is meant to describe the part of yourself that had to grow into being the you that could handle expectations, demands, judgments upon you, sometimes feeling that you were not able to do something, get something accomplished, because you might have been too young to be able to succeed and fulfill what was being asked of you. And because we are survival beings, biologically and physiologically, psychologically and spiritually, we step up. And the part of ourself that's going to step up will be the part of ourself that is being trained by our parents, being trained of what's right or wrong, being trained what's a good thing to do. It's the part of ourself that wants to please, and most of all, it's the part of ourself that wants to be loved. So our ego is created so that we feel loved. We feel like we are fulfilling other people's perceptions and pictures of us. You know, in a culture where there is very little ego or no ego, in native traditions around the world that are called primitive, but actually oftentimes are based upon love. And so because they are based in love, what happens is that the defensive ego, this survival self, doesn't have to exert itself and take control, take rule over our little self who is developing, who is trying to trust love, but knows that love is not the language, that love is not fully across the board what we can really depend upon. And so in our hesitancy to really trust love, we align with fear. And we fear being who we are. We fear being judged, ridiculed, humiliated, abused, hurt, and not loved for who we really are. Our greatest need as a human being is to be loved for who we really are. And as you know, you will change yourself in order to be loved. And for those of you who've had the blessed experience, the held experience of being loved for who you are, you understand and you know what it feels like to build upon your core self, to build upon the love that you are and all of the ways that you want to give to life and perceive life to be. And you feel comfortable going beyond your own self-imposed limitations. You want to strip off those barriers and go, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. You know, I'm going to live my life like a safari journey. I'm going to go and be on the expedition of my life to really explore what's really calling me and to explore what I really need to understand so that I can integrate my mind and my feelings and my actions together so that I feel like a whole person. We're living in a time where being whole is really a desire, and it calls all of us because it contrasts the fragmentations that are happening in our culture through social media, through communication networks, through images that are given to us, and through how many of us are just separating from who we really are, and many of us are really unifying and becoming one with who we really are, because we are willing to take the challenge. We're willing to really go beyond what we hope for, what we're willing to just place our faith in alone, but actually live in a integrated place of taking responsibility for being the best that we can be, implementing all that we really are, and receiving from life what it wants to give us through new opportunities, people's input, all the ways of learning and education that's happening right now in every possible direction. And so here we are. How are we going to choose to really live our life? When you choose to live from your ego self, you're living in a self-protective space. You're living in an arena of, I need to protect myself from being judged, from being hurt, from being abused. And I'm also possibly living in the space of trying to always prove myself. I'm always trying to prove that I'm capable and worthy. And what happens is that the artistic, creative, intuitive side starts to dry up. And it doesn't feel very good after doing that for many years. And you eventually get hungry for something else. And so here you are, and you want to turn to a source and a supply within inside of yourself that you can really depend upon and rely upon, so that you are really being guided the best way for you. The ego can't really guide you in the best way for you, because it will compete for attention. It will compete for power, because the ego part of ourself, when it's based upon being aligned with the part of you that's in your shadow, in the darkness, in the non-light, in the area of yourself that hasn't been exposed to the light, the part of you that hasn't turned to the light, that part of you represses its own life force energy. It doesn't want to get too big. It doesn't want to really experience what it's like living connected to the source, because it needs to constantly validate its own existence. So your ego grows in a way that is detrimental to you when you haven't really believed that you have the right to exist, that who you are can exist, and that who you are should exist. Your essence, the light that you are, can't be destroyed. The light that you are was originally created in the conception moment between the sperm and the egg. In their union, there's a combustion of light that's ignited. And in that light is birthed your consciousness. Your consciousness is created first. And that consciousness is on an energetic level. It's the etheric level, meaning it is not yet connected into the physical. It's first an energetic connection. It is an energetic evolution of consciousness. So the consciousness is there first, and your consciousness is of the light. The light created in conception is the light that grows the body through the light, that's a really cool word. I have to remember that. The electrical magnetic system in your energy system. Your energy system moves through the spine. And so when you want to open up your awareness of your own existence, like who are you? How do you feel being you? You want to start with the opening up the light system in your body. And you can do that with all of the be light meditation that I have created that teach you how to walk through the portal into your own light awakening system. As you open up your light system, you have a direct connection to the infinite source that's within inside of you. That infinite source is what God is. God is this infinite source. It is the light. It is divine intelligence. It is experienced as a higher love, this love that permeates all life, and it supports all creation. This infinite light, infinite love is what gives you your existence. So the light within you is always here. It can't be destroyed. You can go through challenges and extreme turmoil and anguish and suffering because you might believe the light's not here, that God's not here, that you're alone. But truthfully, in reality of the light system, you're always connected to the light that you are. So the choice to live in God is a powerful, powerful choice, or the choice to live in your ego is a powerful, powerful choice, because the ego reality was created, as shared earlier, that you have believed that you don't have the right to exist, you should not exist, you cannot exist, and this part of yourself grows into its belief system. The ego has a belief system. It will have you believe whatever it had to deal with in order to help you to survive. So if you had a father or have a father who didn't really believe that you had the right to really be who you are, that you were meant to be an extension of him, or you had a mother who you can fill in the blank, might not have emotionally been able to be really present. Perhaps that she wasn't able to connect with her own light inside, the love that's within inside of her, and started hooking in energetically, courting into the light that's in you. And over the decades of working with so many individuals, it's almost too commonplace and a bit unyielding to realize that parents hook into their kids, and so the new paradigm, the new mind structure of raising kids is not to live through them, through all the ways that parents can do, through high expectations, needing the child's energy instead of tapping into one's own, and needing the child to fill the hole inside. And so the ego will try to bypass the hole. It will try to have you feel that there is no hole inside of you, there is no gap, and it will work in a bypass system so that you bypass what's really gone on. At some point in your life, it all catches up, and you can't succeed at your dreams, your aspirations, what you really want to have happen in your life, what you really want to create, what you really want to have fulfilled, what you want to accomplish, because you're bypassing yourself, the light that you are, that light electromagnetic system that you really are, that is connected to God. So this is a non-religious perspective of God being the light source, the infinite source of divine presence, divine intelligence, divine love that is within all of us. That divine love is a power. So when you're choosing to tap into the light within your energy system, what I call your power points, they are portals of light that are fully alive inside of you. Oftentimes these light portals will dim. They'll grow small. they'll lose their magnitude of power because you're afraid of what? Fear from being seen as being too much, fear of being threatening, fear of being overwhelming to another person, to your parents. The light that you are is a vivid spark. It's a vibrant energy. So imagine tapping into this vibrant energy inside of you and cracking open the locked door that you might have had on your own energy field. As a woman, you might be afraid of having too much power. As a man, you might be afraid of misusing your power because that's what happened in your family lineage. The source of their power was not through the pure light. It was through dampening the light, shutting it down, dimming the light, manipulating through the ego self, which always seems to know best. And the ego self always thinks it's right. And we are living in a world that is more than filled in that. It is overtaking the connection to the light system, the infinite source intelligence, which is always curious. It lives in a state of attunement, gratitude. It lives in a state of questioning what doesn't flow, what doesn't emanate light, love, innovation, visionary creations that are sourced into that infinite light. Sourced meaning directly connected, coming from the source within inside of you. So as you're choosing to live connected into God, what you're choosing to do is to keep your heart open to the source of light within you and to allow your mind that's in your head to come down, slide down, a water slide into who you are below your neck, and to start with coming into your heart and then into your solar plexus and your navel, lower belly, then the root, the space between your pubic bone and tailbone, and to gently look for a spark of light starting right there in your heart and illuminating that light just through your attention. Whatever you place your attention on, you can diminish and destroy, or you can build and grow. And this is how you grow your connection into the light system within inside of you that connects you directly into the infinite source of divine intelligence or God. In every language in the world, there is a unique word for God. I'm using God just because I've grown up in the West, and this is my reference point, but there are hundreds of names of God because it is truly an expression of being one with the infinite source and how it moves your soul, how it connects into you so that you are living, breathing, walking in thinking, feeling in an integrated way. We think that all of these functions are separate, but they're actually one, meaning they all stem from your infinite source. So each day, take this time for yourself to connect into your heart and allow the walls to dissolve, to disappear, so that you find the place within inside of yourself where you're thinking, feeling, perceiving, intuiting come from one source. That one source is your trust place. And you work to align your mind into the center where the perception, the intuition, the knowing, the being, the feeling, the thinking meet. And it's a drop-in experience. You're dropping in to you, so that you can explore what's really inside of you, into your heart, solar plexus, which is under your rib cage in the center, and then your navel, the center of your existence, where you were and still are originally created to be one with all existence. That's the navel center. It's really powerful. And then your lower belly, the center of your personal power, your sexuality, and your creativity. And then your root center, that's your survival center, the space in between your pubic bone and tailbone. Truly powerful center that needs to be open to the light that comes up from the earth. And so just for this conclusion in this moment together, I invite you to bring your mind into the earth until you see light, and then lift this light up and move it up into your root center, and let this light flow up into the other portal points inside your amazing electromagnetic light system that truly moves from the core of the earth up through your legs into the base of your spine and all the way through your entire spine until it moves all the way up into your brain, opening you to the light system, the infinite source that is you. So here you can choose to be one with the source of divine intelligence or God within you. It's a state of connection. It's a state of presence that illuminates you so that you can accomplish and fulfill what you really want to do and what you came here to do and came here to be. Thanks for being with me. I love showing up here with you. Take the time this week just to tune in with your light system. And I invite you to check out the free offerings on my website at ayanalahi.com, IANALAHI.com. Stay tuned. I'm so looking forward to sharing with you in our next week's Be One, Be You podcast. Until then, much love to you. Be good to you. All my love. This is Ayana Lahi.